Our video for today is on functions. What is a function? So a function is a mathematical relationship in which that assign exactly one output to each input. So you get an input, you put it into the function, and it will give you output. So the notation for a function in the mathematics is f of x, where f is your function, like your machine, and x is the input that you will put in the function to give you the output. So an example of this is just, for instance, I can define a function. I can say my function take countries. It will take a country and it will give it its capital. So in this function, like if I put Ireland into this function, then it will give me, the function will give me Dublin. If I put Kenya in this function, then it will give me Nairobi. So this is a function. Treat some examples. So example 1, evaluate the function f of x is equal to 3x plus 5 at 1, 2, and 5. So we are given this function f of x is equal to 3x plus 5. We want to evaluate it at x equal to 1, x equal to 2, x equal to 5. So let's start with the first one, when x equal to 1. So what we are to do is that wherever we have in this function f of x, wherever we have x, we substitute it with 1. So we'll have f of 1 is equal to 3. Instead of this x, then we put 1 plus 5. Then this will just be 3 times 1, which is just 3 plus 5, and this is 8. The second is x equal to 2. Then we do the same thing. We write f of, instead of this x, we write 2, then 3. Instead of this x, then we write 2, plus, then 5. 3 times 2, this will give you give us 6 plus 5, and 6 plus 5, we have 11. And the next is f of 5, that is at x equal to 5. And for this one, we have 3 times 5 plus 5. And 3 times 5 will give us 15 plus 5, and this will give 20. Another example, we have given g of x is this, and we want to find g of 2 and g of minus for this function g of x. So the first is we want to find g of 2. So for g of 2, like we did in the previous example, wherever we have x, we substitute it with 2 for g of 2. So we say 3 instead of this x, then we put 2 square minus 2. Then we have 3, then we can put this 2 square, which will give us 4 minus 2. And then 3 times 4 is 12 minus 2, and this is 10. Then for the next is g of minus 4. So similarly, wherever we have x, we substitute minus 4. So 3, then we have minus 4 square minus 2. So we start by computing the square. 3 minus 4 square will give us 16 minus 2. It's just minus 4 times minus 4. And 3 times 16, this will give us 48 minus 2, which is 46.